Hello friends, welcome back to another session for my financial signals for Nvidia and Forex. So we'll cover Nvidia first. Today is the 4th of April, and before I begin I want to invite you all to like, share and subscribe if you want to keep seeing more free trading signals, basically every kind of financial asset. So we had very volatile days, just like I told you, especially today was the most volatile day for the entire week, basically. You see a massive drop. No doubt this is in part due to all the chaos that the Trump administration is unleashing because of the tariffs. We see massive headlines about basically unprecedented economic chaos because of all the tariffs, because of these never seen before moves by the US administration. So it's really driving down Nvidia and many other stocks, many other indicators even. And it's crazy how things are going. In regards to this prediction, like I said, I was expecting extreme volatility around the 2 to the 4th of April. Today was the day with the most volatility. I was actually thinking this day could be more relaxed. Yellow circles always mean either range or volatility, so there was a potential for both. But I was honestly expecting this volatility to hit either on the 2nd or on the 3rd. For example, the 2nd of April had red energy, so I was expecting a correction there. Did not really play out. You see, it was a green day. The position starts right here and ends around here. So almost 3%. The 3rd of April was going to be, I was expecting an uptrend, and it was not the case. It was a downtrend. So this has never happened before. Usually I always get these days right, but it doesn't matter because anyways we'll end up having 90% accuracy on average by the end of April. So it's nothing really surprising in that sense. Like I said, I nailed the volatility day. I just thought that it could happen earlier. So what can the next week bring? So similar to this week, I see high chances for volatility around the 7 to the 10 of April. The first 3 days are going to be the most undecided. Some of these days will go completely in range, meaning that they will be basically very boring days, days with little to no action in trading, in price action. One of these days could end up being the very volatile day. And remember that these boxes are a range of days. It doesn't mean that all of these days are going to be exactly the same energy. For example, in this case, it doesn't mean that the 14 and the 15 are going to be green days. Okay, it only means one of these days. So it's going to be an interesting week, I think, in the next one. But be very aware that it could open with extreme volatility. If that's the case, we can guarantee that this week is going to be very volatile, because Friday on the 11th also has this pattern for volatility. This pattern, I always have to explain, is when you have a green circle and a red circle sharing one single day. In this case, the 11th of April is shared by these two circles of opposite energies. So that means we can expect some high volatility around that day, which is Friday. So if it ends up being with a very volatile opening and a very volatile ending close, it will be most likely the most volatile week of the entire month, because basically no other weeks don't really show that much. Okay, you have almost 3-4 days almost of volatility right here. And in this case, for example, the next week after that will be possibly only on the 14th and possibly only on the 15th. That's about it. The next days, I think, will be more relaxed. So yeah, that's possibly going to be the most volatile week, the next one. So be ready to see Nvidia either go very low or very high. I wish I could tell you because I can also make monthly predictions, but because I'm very busy doing other things, and because I really have no incentive to give that kind of information for free, uh, unless obviously you are interested in that. If you want to do that, you can write me to the email, contact me in the description box. There's the contact information. But yeah, basically, I don't have the information to tell you if this is going to be a red or a green month for Nvidia. And like I said, I don't really have the incentive to do that when I already have my hands full doing other stuff, other projects, other work. So yeah, that's basically for Nvidia. Now, yeah, that was Nvidia. So let's take a look at the Forex. Okay, so something really insane happened right here. I mean, I have never seen this before. To be quite honest with you, I barely have like a year trading. I started trading barely a year ago, and it's not even full-time trading because I'm so busy doing other projects, and I really didn't have the time to stick with trading for consecutive weeks, which I'm doing occasionally, but it's not like I religiously do trading. Anyways, what I want to say, this kind of jump, this is massive, guys. I mean, I have never seen this before in my time doing Forex prediction. This has never happened. For example, on the 2nd of March, just as a reference, it ends and starts around right here. So it was basically less than 50%. Now on the 3rd of March, which starts around here, I think, yeah, this is the day which a more clear trend right here. It ends on a 0.70%. So you can see and compare this to basically the 2nd of April. It starts around here, somewhere around here, approximately. And look at this, where it ends, it's 2%, almost 3%. To the highest peak, this is 4%. This is massive, guys. This might not mean much if you're into crypto trading or even some very volatile stocks. But for Forex, this is massive, guys, because I have never seen this in a single day. This is, of course, the Swiss franc against the US dollar. So I have no idea what this... I mean, obviously I know what this Forex pair represents, but I really, like I said before, I have no big time experience doing Forex trading. And I really never seen this before. Now, comment in the video below if you have seen this before, if this is normal, because this is, to me, extremely insane. I mean, look at this. The chart that I drew, the prediction chart, is all the way down. I have to zoom in, like really insane. And as I go even deeper on the zoom, you can see that the chart just goes ballistic all the way up. So it's going to be very annoying for me to actually read this because I will have to zoom in and zoom out continuously. This is insane. I have never seen this before, to be quite honest with you. So let's just take a look at what the predictions told me. Okay, so I was expecting a correction in a range of days from the 2nd of April to the 4th of April. So obviously did not happen on the 2nd, and obviously again not also on the 3rd of April. But today on the 4th of April we see this massive correction play out. So you can see this is where the day starts, around right here, somewhere around here, and currently this is where it's at. So we're talking about 0.70% correction. To the lowest point, this was almost 90%. So it was a significant movement. Even for Forex standards, this is also very significant. But this is the correction that I was expecting. So obviously we're kind of in the clear now. I don't see any major corrections unless something really bad happens around the 6th possibly of March, of April. The next real big problem could come around the 13th to 15th, one of these days, possibly on the 14th and 15th. These days have red energy and also very volatile in the case for the 15. But yeah, the 2nd of April was going to be green. We got this massively right. I mean, look at this. This is what I was talking about. This is freaking insane. I have never seen this before in my life. This completely blows everything out the water. Look at this. Massive movement. Okay, massive, quite powerful. Almost 2% in a single day. This is insane. So I got obviously this one right. On the 3rd, possibly the 4th of April, also volatile days. Also got them right. So you can see that the 3rd continues going higher with extreme power. It kind of dips a little bit, but continues going higher nonetheless. The most volatile day was obviously the 4th in that regard, more than the 3rd of April. But yeah, this is insane. This absolute beast of a movement is just insane. Like I told you, it's going to be very annoying for me because I have to go and zoom in and zoom out continuously just to be able to read the chart and transmit the information to you all. So what's the outlook for the next days? Okay, so like I told you, the next days I see potential volatility to happen around the 7th to the 8th. One of these days will be the most volatile. If I were to say the 7th has the most potential for being the most volatile day. Okay, just like I told you before, this is a pattern of guaranteed volatility. 90% of the times it always happens. So the 7th of April shows the most potential for extreme volatility. So possibly the 6th could open and be a red day. The 7th will be so volatile it will provide opportunities for both long and short in a single day, and the 8th could be more relaxed. This is basically the outlook for the next days. Now, starting from the 9th to the 10th, I see a potential for another very strong uptrend. So this was completely surprising. I mean, I was expecting and obviously nailed the green day for the 2nd of April, but this is just massive, and the fact that it continues on the 3rd, it adds up to the strength of that price movement action, all of that stuff. So possibly, I don't know, it's going to be very difficult to see the same thing happen around the 8th to the 9th of April. I mean 9th to the 10th of April. So it's going to be very difficult, but there's a potential for seeing consecutive green days. So maybe some percentage of this massive movement could be replicated around these days. The 10th also, there's a warning for extreme volatility, like I told you about this pattern right there. So yeah, those are the predictions. That's the outlook and the trading signals for the next days for both Nvidia and Forex. So having said that, I want to remind you all to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.